a reason to believe in other people around you. You see, in the FFA, we don't stop with your personal growth. We go one step further. We develop your career leadership. And everybody knows that a great leader is more than about himself or herself. You search the people around you. Albert Einstein said, a life not lived for others is a life not worth living. I agree with that. After you've been successful in this organization, after you've either achieved your goal as a chapter officer, as a regional officer, even if you go on to become a state officer, you have to look around you and say, who's next? Who can I bring with me? You have to have the will to look at the person next to you in the eye and say, you have the same potential I do, and you can be standing here with me. You have to believe in that person. One man by the name of Patrick Tillman played football for Arizona State University, and as a freshman, he was beat to the ground every single day on the football field because he stood 5'6" and played on the defensive line. But you know, he didn't let it get him down. He had a dream. He was going to play in the NFL. And he chased it. After his last game as a senior at Arizona State, a few months later, he was drafted by the Arizona Cardinals and only played one main season game for the Arizona Cardinals. Because he conquered his dream. Now it was time for somebody else. So he enlisted in the army. He said, if I had the chance to chase my dream, I'm going to give that same chance to somebody else. I'm going to give them the same freedom that they gave me. And he decided to serve our country. A few months after being deployed to Afghanistan, his convoy was ambushed on the Afghan-Pakistan border, and he was killed. In a letter he wrote to his family, said, please don't stand at my grave and weep. My actions live on. I'm just a whisper in the wind. Please don't stand at my grave and weep. If you can believe in the people around you, your actions will whisper forever. If you have the will to continue, even after your failures, your actions will whisper forever. But you have to be able to look around you and say, you know what, my success doesn't matter. Once you believe in other people, you've got to say that because I'm here tonight, it doesn't matter. The only reason I'm here tonight is not to have the best time in the world, which you will. You'll have the best time of your life while you're born. I'm saying that up front. But to be able to take what you learned here, to be able to go out in the workshops after this is over, learn all you can, and take it back to your chapter, because that's what it's about. It's bringing the people with you. But you've got to believe. But in order to become a premier leader in your church, you've got to accept who you are. There's an interesting story that I read. It actually came across my computer about 3 months ago while I was here at camp. I was doing some research online. And it was so weird it came across this past summer because this event actually happened in 2001. But in the spring of 2001, there was a group of mountain climbers that set out to climb the tallest mountain in the entire world. Not Everest. And if they reach the top, they would become the largest group on record to reach the top of the mountain. If they did it together. So in early spring, they set out. And about halfway up, everybody in that group, at one point or another, thought, I can't go on. The conditions are too rough. I don't know the dangers that lurk around the next corner. But they pressed on. They all looked to one man. His name was Eric Wintermeyer. See, Eric didn't see the dangers that lurked around him. He didn't see the slippery ice caps that were in front of him. He didn't see the tall cliffs that they had to climb or the deep trenches they had to cross. No. Eric just kept going. And when they all, 19, made it to the top of Mount Everest, they stood and they looked out. They described that the view was incredible. One that you cannot capture by camera. One that you cannot capture by even a mental image, but you have to be there. Eric Wintermeyer described it with a different feeling. He said, the breeze that you feel that comes across your face that wraps your body can change a man's soul. See, Eric, even at the top, couldn't even see the view because he was blind. When they came back down the mountain in July, they asked Eric, where did you get the determination to climb the tallest mountain in the world? Even with your disability, how is that possible? And his answer was like 2 pages long. But one part of it stuck out to me. He said, I was blinded at the age of 13 by a rare disease. And it was so hard for me to live in a world that I once knew so well, but now I couldn't see. I tried so hard to overcome it, so hard to beat my disability, but it wasn't going to happen. Until one day, he said something probably the most astonishing thing ever happened to me. I stopped trying to transcend that disability. I stopped trying to go beyond it. I stopped trying to beat it. I just accepted who I was. And because of that, I have become successful. I have made my mark. If you can accept who you are, then defining yourself comes in its own. Others can look at you and say they're comfortable with where they are, and that's how they got there. You will become a career leader. You will become regional officers like you've been called to be. You will become the regional officers that next year at state convention, you'll have everybody else on the floor up on their feet because you had to do it too. You'll bring that energy back to Kentucky, and that's what we're looking for. The inspiration, the dream, the challenge to become better than who you are. But it all comes down to the very simple, are you ready? Simple question, do you belong in the organization? Because if you belong here, then it's so much easier to believe in the task. The task to bring others with you, to believe in the others around you, to make sure that somebody from your chapter is sitting where you are next year. If you can believe in that, you'll become somebody better than people are in this room tonight. I want to challenge, and listen closely when I say this to you, I want to challenge every single one of you to become great leaders. Why settle for the best when you have the potential to be great? So I'll challenge you, accept who you are. Get to know the 10 people in the back of the room like they're your best friend. Learn what they have to say. Take it back to your chapter. Spread the message. Kentucky FFA, we are here to stay. We're not going anywhere. We're going to make sure that we rock this nation at National Convention. We're going to make sure that we rock our state Rupp Arena next week. Am I right? Is that going to happen? Yes, it is. Because you all, as regional officers, are going to make a difference this year in your year of service. Take it back home. Spread that message. Challenge you. Be yourself. Belong.